guys, it's SJ, welcome to Baby Name Monday. This week I am doing a full list of very stylish and on-trend baby boys' names, because I know sometimes it's really hard to pick a boy name because you want something that's kind of trendy and cool and edgy, but not something that's really way out there. This list is basically all of the current baby name trends that are happening in 2017. So you'll get to know what are the trends as well as my favourite pick for a name within that trend. And I think that's really good to know, because if you're looking for something a bit unique, choosing a unique name that's within a kind of current bubble trend means that people are going to like it. So I will tell you the top 8, and I really want you to get involved. There's particularly one where we should all generate our own kind of very unique name for this trend, so I want you all to get involved in the comments below when we get to that bit. And do hit subscribe to follow along. I do a new baby name vlog every single Monday, and we do boys, girls, current trends and loads of facts and meanings about them, so yes, join in. So the first trend is one that you would definitely know about, and that is the surname as a first name trend. So of course surnames used to be where people were from or what they did as their job, and it's become very trendy to have those as a first name at the moment. They're really manly, they're really kind of traditional but kind of quirky at the same time. You've probably heard Jackson, you've probably heard Taylor and things like that. One I absolutely love though that no one is using yet is the name Smith. I love the name Smith as a first name. I think it is so stylish. So a smith was a metal worker, and it came from the old English word smite, which means to hammer. So it's got that really kind of rugged meaning, and it just sounds like that as a name, doesn't it? And of course there were so many of these people doing that job, it became a really popular surname. So if it was your maiden name or something, it would be a great one to bring to the front and use at the beginning. I always think of Samantha's boyfriend on Sex and the City, who is pretty memorable person to look at, but I just think that that name is just very cool and very different, and not unusual though, but unusual as a first name. Smith is not being used at the moment. It is at number 3,478. So it's pretty unique. And the second trend that is still hugely popular is old Hebrew names. So all those names like Ezra is one of the fastest rising, most popular names in the UK at the moment. Abe is another really good one. One that is not being used yet, which fits perfectly into this trend, which is not going anywhere, this trend is here to stay, is the name Samson. So what do you think of the name Samson? I really like it, and I think it could be, they could go by Sam, or they could even go by the nickname Sunny, because it actually means bright sun. So that's a really lovely meaning for a little baby boy. Samson is a really well-known figure in terms of from the Old Testament. He was known for his strength, so I think that for a manly name this would be a way to get this past your husband. But he was seduced by the gorgeous Delilah, who then cut off his hair and took his strength away. Delilah is also really rising in popularity, so Samson is probably one that won't be far behind. Samson is currently at number 452 in the UK, so it's not too far down in terms of popularity, whereas Delilah is at number 142. So it is a great one to choose. What do you think of the name Samson? Let me know. The next trend is a great one, and it is kind of villain names or bad boy names. I think that we are just really following popular culture, and all the movies have gone from being like superhero movies to like super baddie movies, and we really like that. I think Tom Hardy has basically created this genre just perfect for him. But a bad boy name is really nice, and the one that is the most popular at the moment, it is actually the fastest rising baby boy name in the US this year, is the name Kylo. So Kylo comes from Kylo Ren in Star Wars. I won't pretend that I'm a massive Star Wars fan, because some of you probably are. I'm not getting annoyed with my bad facts. Kylo doesn't really mean anything. It's literally from that movie, but it has gone up 1,457 places this year in the US to become the fastest rising name. Isn't that bonkers? I think as a name, it's just a really nice one as well. We love those names that end in O, and names like Arlo and things like that. It's very similar to, and Kai at the beginning, so it sounds like a very modern name. We love those bad boy names. Even 3 people named their baby boy Bane last year in the UK, so it is becoming a trend. What do you think of it? Would you name your little baby after a bit of a bad boy? In the UK, Kylo is now at number 647, so again, it's up there, it's in the top 1,000. What do you reckon? The next trend is almost a counter of that, and that's what kind of you see a lot in these trends. There's always like one and then the polar opposite, and that trend is modern virtue names. This is a massive trend at the moment. I talked about it a few times because I love the names in this as well. So kind of virtue names like Hope, Grace, Glory, and all of those. Hollywood are taking this to like a major extreme. So you've got people called things like Journey, or I think Rob Kardashian called his baby girl Dream. So they're kind of all these really kind of like out there names, and then we're kind of choosing ones that are just kind of within that modern Puritan virtue name list, but getting a bit broader with it. I actually really like this trend, and there are some great options within it, but one I really like for a boy, because I think it just sounds very modern and on trend, is the name Valour. So Valour obviously has a really lovely meaning as well, around courage, around bravery, and around kind of honesty. So I really like it, and it sounds quite gothic to me, almost like Knights of the Round Table or kind of Game of Thronesy. So I think it would be a really sort of unique one, but one that people would really like at the moment. It's also got that V sound, which is really trendy. They're kind of called high Scrabble word letters, really popular. As anything with an X or a V, we're really liking it at the moment within baby names. I think it is a really lovely one. It doesn't rank at all. It is not there in the top 1,000. Nobody called their baby Valour last year. There might have been one, but not every single name is ranked. So do you have a baby Valour, or what do you think of this name? Another place that we're looking for unique baby names is names from the gods. So yeah, we're very humble at the moment, but you know, just want to call our babies things like Zeus and Thor and all those names. One I absolutely love is actually from the Titans, who were even older than those kind of Greek gods, and that is the name Atlas. This name is becoming really popular. Do you follow a YouTuber called Nomadi Daddy? Skinner and his wife Holly, and they had a baby around the time I had my baby Evelina and called him Atlas, and I loved the name straight away. Atlas is a very well-known figure, so you'll have seen the statues of Atlas holding the kind of orb on top of him, and Atlas's role within the Titan era was to separate heaven from the mortal realm. So he used to turn the skies and revolve the stars. So it's a really lovely image for a baby. I think it is very adventurous as well, of course, with the name Atlas meaning travel, coming synonymous with travel. There's Africa's Atlas Mountains, there's Mount Atlas in Antarctica, so it's a really lovely cultural name. It was actually in 1585 that a Flemish innovator first called a book of maps the Atlas. So how sweet is that? Tons of history, and feels like a very grand name, but a very cute one at the same time. And it's just got into the top 1,000 this year, so it is at number 946. The next name is up from number 976 to number 286, so it is having a little bit of a boom, and that's because it is following the trend for O. So the letter O has become the most popular baby name vowel out there, so we can't get enough of it. We've got Oliver at the top spot in the UK and Olivia in the top spot for girls. The name that I absolutely love within this trend is the name Otto. I like the fact that it's spelled the same forward and backwards. I just think that is really cute about it. It makes it kind of sound really stylish. There were 3 Roman emperors called Otto, so it's steeped in history, and it is an old Germanic name meaning wealthy. So I think it is a really great one. I think if you've got an Oscar and Oliver, Otto is a really nice like sibling name to it. I just think it is a cute one. Another great trend at the moment is granddad names, or like old vintage boy names that are almost like ugly names that we want to bring right back again because we love them again. They're sort of not very common at all. That is on the rise, and that I really loved actually if I was having a baby boy, is the name Percy. So if you want to go with this trend but have something that is kind of getting quite popular, this is a great choice. You just hardly ever hear it, but it is literally the cutest little baby name. 83 babies were called Percy in 2016 compared with just 30 in 2012, so you will start to hear this a lot more around and about. It's got a nature meaning as well because it means pierces the valley, so it's a lovely sort of sounding name, and it's going to be popular because it is being used a lot in popular culture. So there's Percy Jackson, which I haven't seen, but it is a really popular movie all about a little boy hero called Percy Jackson, so it's sort of a tweens thing, so it's making this thing quite cool again. There's obviously Percy Weasley in Harry Potter, so it's a good one. It's kind of out there already, it's not unusual, but I think it's a kind of quirky choice at the moment. I've got a lot of love for this name. I hope you really like it as well. And last step is one I want you to get involved with, which is a trend for destination names. So remember, this was really popular about 10 years ago and then really went out of fashion when we had people named like Brooklyn, Victoria Beckham's child, her oldest, and Paris after like Paris Hilton, and then people were kind of going for this kind of city names. But it's having a little resurgence at the moment with people looking to kind of, as we become more globalized, people are getting a bit more patriotic as well and wanting to really go back to this old, very traditional way of naming a baby, which was to pick the town where you were from. So I think have a little go at this. It's interesting. I had a go, and my eldest son is called Freddie. He was born in Kensington, and I really like that, Kensington, as a middle name. Finn was born in Kingston, and again, that's a great middle name. Gwen Stefani's got a little boy called Kingston, so he could have been Finn Kingston. And I think for boys, they just always sound really good, don't they? They kind of sound like proper names. Let me know what you think. What town was your baby born in? Would that make a decent name? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure some of them will probably sound really, really ridiculous. So those are the top baby name trends in the UK at the moment, and some of my choices within them as kind of trendy and stylish baby boy names. I know this is hard to pick a baby name. Let me know what you think of these in the comments below. Any name suggestions, do pop them in the comments below as well. I am slowly but surely getting through all of your recommendations for baby name lists, and don't forget there is a new baby name list every single Monday. I have got tons. I reckon I could do this for like 10 years. And I will see you all next week. Bye guys.